Hello, class. I'd like to tell you about my folder today. And basically, my folder is pretty visual, like Mike. I love shapes and pictures, and I love words, and I love putting all that type of stuff together on the page. So mine is kind of like a collage, and I'm going to try to keep it somewhat organized. As you can see, things are all over the place. Basically, what I want my students to come away from being in my class is I want them to feel empowered, that they can go out and make the world that they want to live in. So that's a really big deal for me. And when I saw this picture, that really spoke empowerment to me. The other thing I really like about this picture is this woman is obviously in her environment, which is another really big deal for me. I want my students to feel like they're an integral part of their environment. This, I like it because it's orange and it really sticks out on the page. And it says, I love going to school here. And I really want my students to have this feeling of loving going to school. And obviously, students are not going to love to go to school all the time. But I want my students to enjoy being in their class. I have a lot of natural resource pictures on here. I have a picture of the forest. It's actually sequoias in California, kind of backlaying everything. And I like having the tree element in it to bring in more nature. And I also thought the trees were kind of cool because they're kind of like reaching towards the heavens. And that's how I want my students to feel like they're kind of always reaching towards their goals. I want to talk about great places, and I want my students to be familiar with the great places in the world. I want them to be familiar with different cultures. And I want the classroom to have a lot of energy and a playful attitude. And I want my students to really accept no limitations. And it just all ties in with the theme of having an empowered life and living to your full potential. I put in here yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and communities that have raised the bar, because I want my students to make communities that raise the bar, and it's my own personal, but protect our natural resources, because I think that's really important, and that's something that I want to develop conceptually in my classes, that students realize that they are part of the environment and the resources that they use have an impact on resources everywhere. So that is my folder. On the back, my quote is, "If I have the belief that I can do it, I shall surely acquire the capacity to do it, even if I may not have it at the beginning." And that is a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. And that ties in with the theme that I want my students to come in and feel like they can learn to do anything and do anything. That's what I've got. Thank you.